Hi everybody, crypto lovers and crypto enthusiasts. You're watching the third episode of Transatlantic Crypto Podcast. You know what does it mean. And please welcome my host from United States, from Pittsburgh. It's the renowned Mr. R.L. Bryer, the author of the blockchain project Renaissance, the speaker, podcaster. He's been in crypto space since 2019. Maybe he's Satoshi Nakamoto, I don't really know. And I'm your co-host Eugene from the European side, from Belarus. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's start the episode. And my friend, I glad to talk to you again.
Always a pleasure to talk to you and start my day with the Transatlantic Crypto Podcast. Thanks for having me on.
So let's start with the next point. In 30th of January, you delivered a big talk in Pittsburgh, if I'm not mistaken, about crypto, about Austrian economics. You mentioned our Transatlantic Crypto Podcast. Thank you very much for that. Tell us, please, what was the event? Why did you do that? What was the feedback and what it was?
Yeah, I was invited to speak at a meetup in Pittsburgh called Blockchain in the Berg. It's been going on for 6 months to a year now. I think I was the 7th speaker. I was a January speaker there. Yeah, that was the 30th of January, so just last week, and 6 days ago. And I spoke on just the first decade of Bitcoin, Austrian economics, obviously. You know, that's near and dear to my heart as well as yours. I mentioned the Mises Institute and what all their resources. I talked about my books and how I try to break down the most important integral things about Bitcoin and blockchain space, cryptocurrency overall. I definitely got into the money, the United States debt and how the majority of central banks have their nations in extreme debt right now, and talked about, the potential of millennials and the future generations to come, investing in blockchain and their own human capital and taking the fruits of their labor and putting it into something that has long-term a longer-term orientation, something aside from the dollar or fiat currencies that can be debased and our purchasing power being stolen. So I kind of compared, real quick to Bitcoin to gold, and gold right now has a $7.8 to $8 trillion trillion dollar market cap. So I sort of think that in the next decade, Bitcoin will probably reach somewhere around $2 trillion market cap. Just Bitcoin, somewhere in that range, and that would put Bitcoin around $250,000 per unit. So that I think that if we get to that point, the volatility will definitely go down in the Bitcoin market. You'll see less major swings. Sometimes we still see a 10% swing on occasion, in one day. And I think over time, as the market cap grows, we'll see less and less of a swing, and it'll emerge. It already is a store of value over time, but it'll really emerge as like the premier store of value.
Well, what was the audience at this event, and what feedback did they give to you?
Yeah, I actually had one person took a plane to come see the event, so that was sort of humbling. And then another person drove 6 hours. There was like 25, 30 people that showed up, so that was pretty cool. That was the first speech I'd given, so I spoke for like 41 minutes, and that was really cool. I got done, and there was actually I should have had them record that. They asked me before, do you want the Q&A, the questions and answers recorded? And I said, I don't care. You don't have to keep recording, because I didn't want to, put that burden on them. I figured they could sit down and enjoy the Q&A. But yeah, they actually asked me like another 25 or 30 questions when I got done. So that was kind of cool. It went for another like 30 minutes, 40 minutes. And then we all went, not all of us, about half or 60% of the people went and had dinner afterwards. And we just kept talking about Bitcoin and blockchain and economics. And it was pretty cool.
Well, did you enjoy that experience?
Yeah, I really did enjoy it. So I'm hoping to do some more speaking in the future. That was definitely some. I might have the speaking bug now. We'll see if I get invited to some more lectures or speeches in the future. Hopefully I do, because I did enjoy that. I can see why you like getting in front of people with the microphone now. It's definitely a cool experience, and it gives you a little rush.
It was the same seldom moment when Earl Bryer was wearing a suit and the tie.
Yeah, I got up there. I started off. I mentioned the Transatlantic Crypto Podcast, like you said, and what we've been doing. I shouted you out on there.
Well, let me ask you, what was the youngest man in your life, the crypto user you met in your life? For example, did you met the children of 7, 8 years old, understanding what crypto is, changing crypto, using their smartphones, and so on and so forth?
Yeah, that's actually a really good question. Personally, I'm not around a lot of younger people right now, so I think there might be more younger people interested that I don't know. But I do have people that I've come across that have told me that their children have gotten them into crypto. For me personally, I would say 18, maybe something like that. 18 years old. I think when you start getting interested in how the world works.
So I highly advise you to make an experiment. When I see the group of children, for example, when I can talk to them, I do the following. I take my smartphone and ask them, do you know what Bitcoin is? Because of their quick minds, they do understand very quickly, immediately, instantly, that this guy is talking about something valuable. And they try to ask, what Bitcoin, what is it? And I say, and I continue, take your smartphone, take your smartphone, download the wallet, any wallet you want. I use wallet partners and press the wallet. So they are downloading that, and then I make a gift in real time. I send them Bitcoins for $10 and $20, a very small amount. But they understand that something miracle has happened.
Right.
They had a gift. They had got a gift. They got a gift.
Yeah.
And they really don't understand what the essence of gift is. Something, it looks like miracle for them. And because of the miracleness, I encourage their minds to think, what is the essence of the gift? What is Bitcoin? How it works? What you have to do with that? And the first question they usually ask, how can I change the Bitcoin for money? And I said to them, do not change for money right now. Just hold it and see what will be going the next.
I love that you do that, because you're planting the seeds, the future seeds of freedom right there.
Right. That's the greatest a way, a mechanism to involve all the people around you, P2P, to the crypto space. And I strictly advise for everybody who's hearing and seeing us to do the followings. It's very easy, and that's the right way to encourage people. Like we did it in social media 15 years ago, where Facebook came, right? We said, are you on Facebook? No, what the fuck is Facebook is? Open your internet, the Facebook just registered that. And right now, the Facebook has 2.5 billion users.
Right.
The report some days ago. It's a mess. We need the same amount in crypto industry, and I do believe that this amount will be.
And what you're doing by doing that is you're expanding that network effect. So getting more people in the ecosystem, and then word of mouth, word
of mouth, and we have P2P. That's the ideology of crypto space. The P2P, educate P2P. Deliver P2P, share Bitcoins in nodes. What are we doing with you? We are sharing our knowledge with you, P2P, to all the viewers all around worldwide. In English, being you're in the United States and I'm here in Europe. Isn't that a miracle? Yes, this is a miracle. 2020 on the calendar, and what will be next? That's a miracle. So I want to discuss the next following topics I've been interested in recent days. The personal tokenization. We know that projects have been issuing their own tokens, but we do understand that the personality, you, me, honest person, the millions of persons who do something valuable in this world, services, knowledge sharing, content creation, they can or they could issue their personal tokens backed by their time and their services. and to obtain market value of their services. I don't know how to say the market maked value of their services. What do you think about that issue?
I think this is going to get easier and easier to do the further we get into blockchain. You know, we're 11 years in now. I really think this is the future for people like you and I that are really interested in the free market and have, you know, something that other people can, you know, get a piece of, you know, buy a piece of whatever, you know, own a piece of that enthusiasm, I guess you could say. So that's definitely going to be something in the future. I think you're going to see that with people like us, athletes, you know, definitely are going to have to, you
celebrities,
know,
all that
absolutely
people renowned with activity, world-renowned people who make some value. We even don't need to be very famous or very renowned.
Right.
For example, if you are in your community, people around you know who you are, what you do. Perhaps in Pittsburgh here and in my area, they know who you are and what you do. They can buy your tokens. They become your fans by buying your tokens, and they become interested in your success, and they try to help you succeed because of the future value of their tokens they are holding up. That's the simple economic mechanism, right?
Right. I think that the one industry you're going to see that immediately, and I can't believe we haven't seen it more yet, is music, because musicians really get ripped off by record labels. I think that they should be crushing that right now. You know, anybody, you know, any manager out there really should, you know, be investing their time in understanding how to do that, because you know, you don't need a record label today to be successful. With, like you said, we're in like a magic era today. You and I are talking across the world right now in real time about digital money. So and tokenization. So, you know, people like us and musicians and celebrities and sports people really can take an ERC-20 and make it available to anyone who understands blockchain and cryptocurrency. So, yeah, I definitely think that's the future of you know, free markets and being able to exchange value, and invest in other people.
That's gonna be the trend of 2020. Let's suppose that there are some people who are holding the RLB tokens, the tokens issued by RL Bryer. How do you think, what will drive the price of that token? Why one of these token will be valuable at all? Why it will be cost not zero? Why? What do you answer?
Yep. Well, the people will be investing in the person's you know, their production. So you tie that to maybe my books, and then they get a share of the books. That would be one economic model I would use, probably, where if they tokenize and then they basically are putting up capital for you to create things, and then within that they get you could give them a percentage of everything you sell. That would be one example I would put out there.
Yeah, great. That's very, very American magic topic, and I think I really want to try this scheme in this year. I will do all my best for, because the technical aspects of token issues is very simple. Too much services, and you can find it on the internet, how to issue personal tokens. For example, the guy from Poland made the site personaltokens.io. By the way, I will make interview with him about the details. But the question arises how to make a value of that certificate, digital certificate, and that's the question. And the world will find an answer. I think the community will find an answer.
And one other thing that ties into all this is ERC-20s are becoming more widely available on like mobile wallets too. So it'll be easier for you to actually just integrate your token into any wallet, you know. So in the future, it's going to be really easy to accept and buy any sort of ERC-20. So your token could be on everybody's smartphone here pretty soon. So it's definitely, yeah, things are trending that way for sure. It's just not corporations. People are definitely start tokenizing themselves. That'll be a trend we see here in 2020 for sure.
Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, the era of fiat money have come to the end because of architecturally fiat has been constructed as a self-destroying thing because of unlimited emission. And we all know that if you have unlimited emission, you will have the inflation and the crash of the fiat. So we have lived in the era of fiat in 20th century in fiat, and the 21st century is the era of returning back to the sound money, to the private money. Just read Mises, read Hayek, read Rothbard about what sound money. Just learn and always pay attention. We will always mention the Mises Institute in Alabama, the greatest, the hugest, the best think tank regarding Austrian economics. And that's the great thing that it is located in United States, one of the freest country in the world, country established by free people, by entrepreneur-minded people. It remains the same, nevertheless, of all the conditions, all the events of 20th century, we do respect them. So, Mr. Arnold Bryer and Eugene Romanenko, the CryptoEmcee from Transatlantic Crypto Podcast with you. Thank you for watching. Stay tuned for next episodes. We will share ideas. And the next episode, I want to suggest to discuss the situation of content, crypto content regarding crypto in YouTube. Absolutely. And so on. Would you like to discuss that?
Yeah, I think that's a good one to get on to next. So yeah, we'll do that here next week or in the next few days.
Okay.
Yeah.
And we need not to forget this topic.
No, I love that topic. So yeah, that's a good one to get into.
Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, have a good day and stay tuned for next episode of Transatlantic Crypto Podcast. See ya.
Good day.